Trump's big beautiful bill will reshape the stock market. There's going to be a short-term effect, a long-term effect, and also I'm going to explain what can you do as an investor or just a regular individual. Elon Musk also said that Trump's big beautiful bill could spell disaster for America and put the next generation on debt. Is this real? Or is just Elon Musk is just exaggerating? I'm going to break it down to you in this video. So the big beautiful bill is supposed to cut or reduce tax on some individuals and fund the border security to stop illegal immigrants and cut or limit the Medicaid and food stamps, and supposed to spend more money on military to enhance the US defense and stop the money that is going to green energy. And that's why Elon Musk is upset, apparently, as what Trump said. So is this really gonna increase the US debt? Is it gonna crash the stock market and all economy, as Elon Musk said, and next generation is gonna pay all this debt? Is it gonna boost the stock market and all the companies and boost the individual as they're gonna have tax cut, as what Trump said? All this, we're gonna talk about it deeply. But before I start, we have to know what happened exactly in the past few days and what led us into all that. So Trump wants to cut tax on some individuals. For example, if you are working at a restaurant and you have tips, you're not going to be taxed on that as before. Also, if you are a construction worker who's working overtime, you're not going to be taxed on your overtime pay. Also, if you are a retired couple and you have an income of $75,000 or below, you will have a $6,000 deduction out of your tax pay. So that means you'll have $6,000 extra. Also, if you are a homeowner and you pay a property tax, there's going to be a deduction on the property tax that you own. If you are a parent of a 15-year-old and you don't work but you receive food stamps, now the regulation has changed. You have to work a minimum of 80 hours per month to receive food stamps. Also, the Medicaid will stop on some individuals, and there's going to be a more restricted policies for those who deserve the Medicaid. And the last thing about this bill that is causing all the argument between Elon Musk and Trump is that this bill is going to stop all the support that is going to green energy and EV, including the EV mandate that Trump is talking about.
I think it's crazy.
What happened to Elon Musk?
Who?
What happened to Elon Musk?
Nothing. You know, he's upset he's losing his EV mandate, and he's very upset about things, but you know, he could lose a lot more than that. I can tell you right now. Hey, Elon can lose a lot more than that.
Basically, this EV mandate is a regulation on all automakers that they have to meet a target of selling certain number of AVs or certain percentage of AVs. For example, Ford, you have to sell 30% of electric vehicles this year. And if you don't, you have to pay to buy credits from those who do. And Tesla has been benefiting a lot from that, because those companies that don't meet their targets, they pay Tesla these credits. And that's how Tesla made a lot of money from this EV mandate. And now this is about to stop. And that's why Elon Musk is upset, according to Trump. And now to the most important part, which is what is the long-term and short-term effect, and is it going to really cost the next generation like a lot of money, just like what Elon Musk said, which is a disastrous bill? Let's break it down to you guys. First of all, let's take the stock market, which is really important for us as investors. How it's going to affect the stock market in the short term? Well, obviously it's going to affect the stock market positively in the short term, as just what happened in 2017 when Trump made the same tax cuts on companies, and many people started to invest more in the stock market as they think that the tax cut is going to help the company positively to enhance their operation, and they're going to have more money to increase their business investments, and the company is going to buy shares back, and it's going to expand and hire more people, and the economy is going to boost. That's what happened in 2017. And it is expected to happen again in 2025. Once the bill passes, there's going to be a huge positive impact in the stock market and the business, as many people are going to start investing, and the companies going to expand more and hire more people and can be free with their money, as they are going to keep the tax cut. This is just like what happened in 2017. This is what is expected in 2025 for the short term. But for the long term, it's not going to be good. That's what analysts think, as it's going to increase the US debt, and it's heading towards $5 trillion, and it's not good for the US, as it's going to hurt the next generations. That's what they think.
I will tell you that this is the most dangerous piece of legislation I've ever seen during my time in Congress.
Because Elon Musk and some analysts think that in the future, once the debt is out of hand, they're gonna tax aggressively people and companies, and that's gonna crash the market and the next generations to compensate for what they've been doing right now. And also they're gonna cut public spending, for example Medicaid, or like some other services that a lot of people are benefiting from right now. And also there's going to be a higher interest rate to compensate for the financial debt, and that's going to slow the growth of the stock market and the business. This is the long-term effect on the stock market. Now let's jump on to inflation impact, and is it gonna cause inflation, or is this not gonna do anything? For the short term and long term, analysts expect that it's gonna trigger inflation, because Joe now has extra $200 or $400 out of his paycheck that he can spend it on whatever he wants. This is gonna trigger inflation. And not only that, but also if companies now can save a lot of money, they can pay more raises to employees, and they can hire more employees, and that's going also to boost the economy and make people spend more money, and that's going to trigger or enhance that inflation. Also, analysts think that Federal Reserve may raise interest rates faster than expected in the future, and that is what's going to have negative effect on the stock market, or the companies, or even the individuals who wants to take loan to buy a house or a land or a car or whatever. Also, the big beautiful bill can widen the gap between the rich and the poor and the middle class people, because let's say that the tax cut is 1%. So average Joe got to save $500 tax cut out of his paycheck, which is the 1%. Meanwhile, a billionaire can save $5 million out of his paycheck yearly. This is insane. $500 to $5 million saved by each one of them. This is going to widen the gap between each class of people. Like, rich people going to be richer, and the poor people is going to be poorer. This is what many people think, and what Elon Musk think, and many people think. So in the short term, yes, it is good, but in the long term, it's not good. But here's what Trump said. Trump said that the company is going to expand, and they're going to grow more money, and we're going to be taxing them on the profits that they additionally added, and that's how we are going to pay the debt. So the last part is, what should we do as investors? Should we invest? Should we wait? We always should invest, guys. And I believe next year, 2026, is going to be one of the most amazing years in the stock market. Everything is going to boost, because I'm expecting the Federal Reserve is going to start the rate cuts, and also the big beautiful bill is going to boost the economy for a short term. All these things going to reflect in the stock market, and keep following me, guys, to know what is the update on the stock market. And also don't forget that I grew my portfolio from 3 figures to 4 figures to 5 and now 6, and hopefully next year, or like let's say within the next 3 or 4 years, I can be a millionaire, and this is the mission of this channel. Don't forget, guys, that I hit the table for Google when it was $94 and it went to $188. Also Amazon at $103 and went to $206. Also Meta at $135 and went to $270, and Tesla at $156 and went to $312. Bitcoin at 23K went to 46K. And now I think that Nike, AMD, and Tesla and some other stocks that I put on my channel, that I think they are going to like double or triple from here. So follow me, guys, and cheers.